Hi, morning everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Prof. Okay, shall we start now?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So, good morning everyone. Datuk, Datin, Prof, Professor Maya, Doctor, fellow researcher, and our honorable guest speakers. Okay, Prof. Prof. Dr. Mohd Nazip Suratman. Okay. So first of all, I would like to welcome everyone for joining the research webinar session, the research grant program, Nagao Natural Environmental Foundation. I'm Chay, Coordinator of Energy and Environment Research Nexus UiTM. I'm the moderator for today's webinar session. We from ReNeU highly appreciate your time sharing with us today. I would like to welcome our speaker, Prof. T.S. Dr. Mohd Nazip Suratman. Prof, how are you? Hi.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, then let's share with you the background of Prof. T.S. Dr. Mohd Nazip Suratman. So Prof. Nazip is an honorary professor of forestry in the Faculty of Applied Science and a principal fellow at the Institute of Biodiversity Sustainable Development, YBhg, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. He earned a BSc in forestry from University Putra Malaysia, UPM, and a MSc from the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, USA. He was then honored with a prestige fellowship from the Canadian Commonwealth to pursue a PhD degree at the University British of Columbia, Canada, where he worked on the application of remote sensing for sustainable forest management. He has been involved in numerous collaborative international research projects that leads to publications in reputed journals. Altogether, he has several aspects cross forestry, mainly are the forest modeling, forest ecology, and biodiversity. His latest book publication is chapters in books entitled Concepts and Application of Remote Sensing in Forestry, published by Springer in January 2023. He received the UiTM Best Researcher and Top Talent Awards in 2015 and 2021, respectively. He served as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research 2018 to 2001. Okay. Today, we are glad to have Prof. here sharing his tips and experience in successful Nagao Natural Environmental Foundation NEF research grant application. As we are having a Q&A session at the end of the webinar session, you may drop your question in the chat box and we will address them during the Q&A session. And you also allowed to unmute the microphone and ask the question directly. Without further delay, pleased to welcome Prof. T.S. Dr. Mohd Nazip Suratman. Prof, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor T.S. Dr. Chay. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning, everyone. Thank you for making time to be here with me, because I think it's important for me to share with you to apply one of the good potentials grant acquisition from the international founder. Yeah, this is the Nagao Natural Environment Foundation. Yeah, let me share my slide now. Okay. The slide is on.
Yes, good.
All right. So the objective of this presentation is to share with the audience some tips, yeah, to secure a grant provided by Nagao Natural Environment Foundation's NEF. Yeah, This is a NGO, Japan-based grant provider that offering research grants, which is, I think it is focusing on the nature conservation. I will describe further in the slide. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce this Nagao. What is Nagao all about? It is actually an NGO, in Japan that are dedicated in promoting research in nature conservation in developing countries. So the Nagao was established in 1989, which is about 34 years ago. So it supported researchers from institutions, mainly from the Asia Pacific region. So to date, for the last 34 years, there's been 517 research projects that's been approved, which came from a total of 35 countries. The researchers from 35 countries have been awarded a research grant by NEF, the Natural Environment Foundation. So the detailed informations can be accessed from www.nagaofoundations.or.jp/e that will describe the NEF. The activities that the NEF conducted is not only offering research grant, they also offering scholarships, they also conducting an NEF commemorative grant fund for capacity building for young scientists, and they organize the wetland funds in cooperation with Ramsar conventions. So, but for today's webinar, I will focus on research grant acquisition that being offered by the NEF, specifically on Nagao. So, like I mentioned earlier, this research grant program, it support academic and scientific research that will deepen knowledge of the nature conservations. So I'm sure most of the audience today, if you have the background on anything related with the nature conservations, this is the opportunity that you should grab, the grant, the international grant, because it's carry big weight or carrier. Acquiring international grant means a lot. It does not matter the values, but because it is very competitive, you have to compete with other scholars and researchers throughout the world, especially in this respect, it's in the Asia Pacific region. So what is the aim of NEF? It is try to strengthen research capacity of young researchers, and grant available only for individual researchers, which means that if you were to apply the grant, you are applying individually, by you yourself, however, I have experience acquiring this grant in 2015, which is I used the grant to support, to partially support the research of my postgraduate students, combination with other grant, because the amount of the grant is not much, like 500,000 yen, equivalent to about 16,000 ringgit. But I think it quite helpful to have this amount, because it can you can use it in complement with other grant that you have. And like I said, it is available for individual researcher, not for group or organization. I mean, unfortunately, when you apply this, you will your name will be listed as an applicant. there is no, you are the PI and you are the individual that apply for the grant. There is no, there's no space in the form that requesting the name of the project members or the member of the team. Yeah. And the objective again is to enhance the skill of young researchers in terms of knowledge, experience through the research work. Yeah? To give you a feel, what type of research that Nagao offered a fund to the researchers. Yeah? For example, this is the informations on the result of the application from April 2022. So Nagao received a total of 48 applications, and upon evaluations and screening, 10 were awarded. Yeah, it's more or less about how much, 20% or so. Yeah, it's quite high success rate also. Yeah. So let's look at what the types of research that managed to secure the grant. Yeah? For example, you can see the countries. They are from Indonesia, from Malaysia. They have representative here from Mongolia, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Nepal. Yeah. And if you can see the title of the proposal, research proposal, it relates to the organism, upon the first analysis of interaction between soil, microbe, and vegetation. In this case, I think it deals with the vegetations during post-volcanic event. You can see from each title, it will highlight what organism, what plants, what is the fauna that they study. For example, for number 2 from UMS, they study about herpetofauna. Herpetofauna is reptiles or amphibian. And then you can see the third proposal by someone from UPM, Muhammad Nur Amal from Malaysia. He studied about wild fighting fish. About fish. The fourth one about sheep. The fifth one, they study about Oberylonia. Oberylonia is an orchid, a plant, from Sri Lanka, and so forth. We can see here the endangered oat-pan toad gecko. That is actually lizard. Lizard family. And then from Bangladesh, they study about primates, monkeys, and primates. In Nepal, they study about skink. Skink is a type of lizard also. And another Nepal scholar study about pangolin, and pangolin is tenggiling. And another researcher from they study about so for each topic you can see there is a subject that they studied. In my case, that I will share later, I studied about endangered tree species. It a species, timber species in Malaysia that is facing close to extinction. This is crowing trees. I will share with you in a bit. Okay, that is the year 2022. And a year before, 2021, 81 applicants submitted, 7 were awarded. In this case, we can see very low successful rate. Out of 81, only 7, less than 10%. More or less 8 or 9%. So again, we can see here they study about dragonflies. They study about fireflies. They study about marine mollusks, non-marine mollusks. And then they study about giant water bug, tiger beetles, a type of beetle, they call it tiger beetle. That is someone from Malaysia, from UKM, studied the beetle in Tasik Chini and Fraser's Hill. and Nur Adibah Muhammad Ismadi study about micro invertebrates. Invertebrates is they include insect, includes dragonfly, worms, and snails. And in Vietnam they study about wasps. That is someone from Vietnam Academy of Science. So by looking at the list of the topic, I think now you get some feel what type of study that Nagao is interested in providing the grant. And this is another list of research that successfully secured the grant. Out of 68 applicants, 9 were awarded. They study about Xylocarpus. This is a name of a tree actually in the mangrove forest. Xylocarpus, locally named in Malaysia pokok nyireh. But they have it also in Bangladesh. And then next they study about frog, Himalayan bullfrog. They study about the NA, but in this case on amphibian. And then they study about deer, rusa. Study about land use change and the impact on the diversity and soil. And then Tismia is a type of fungi, I think. And a tiger habitat and crocodile, newt, and also another deer species from Vietnam. All right. That is to give you an idea. What types of the nature of research that Nagao is interested in offering the grants. Okay, now we go a little bit detail about the criteria or the characteristic of the grant. One is about the size and duration. As I said, the amount is not that much. 400 Japanese yen. With the current conversion rate, Malaysian ringgit is about 16,000 per project for a maximum duration for 2 years. But the difference between Nagao with compared to other grants that researchers are acquired, this amount, if you successful in securing the grant, the amount that you obtain, for example, 16,000, it will go to your bank account. It's not they won't transfer the grant to the institution or to RMC or Bendahari Zone 17. It will go to your, not to your pocket, but to your. They will ask you what is your account number. They will transfer the money into your account. Which means that it requires some accountability for the researcher. As how to spend the money, to monitor the use of the grants and for grants and for what purpose, which is I think do's and don'ts. What to spend with that money. For the duration of 2 years, that money can be spent for the research that been approved. But before we talk about what can be purchased with that 16,000, what the expenditure, expenses that you can spend, let's look at the eligibility. An applicant must be a national and of the developing country. Which is, I think, Malaysia is part of the developing country in the Asia Pacific region. The applicant, a researcher or scientist who works full time. So we are a lecturer. We can apply this because we are working full time at UiTM. And also, if there is a student that enroll in the doctoral course, yeah, I mean the PhD candidate can also apply. Yeah, not only limited to the lecturer. If you have your PhD candidate that meet the requirement, please also encourage them to apply. Yeah. Be a young researcher or scientist aged below 40. Unfortunately, this is the new requirement that just being added about last year or 2 years ago or so. Yeah, because during my time, they don't have these requirements. Yeah, when I applied, I was 50 years of age during that time. Yeah, 52. So I managed to get this grant. Yeah, now unfortunately they limit into researcher and scientists the age below 40 years of age. Yeah, have sufficient experience and skill in conducting and managing profit research. I think each and every one of you have this skill, introductory to research, and then be able to communicate in English. And no doubt that each and every one of us, we use English. That's the language of command in UiTM, so it should be no problem. Not have another application to the NEF. You cannot have another application with the Nagao. Yeah, I mean another ongoing research with Nagao, for example. Yeah. Not have another ongoing research publication project funded at the time of application of submission. So I think it is clear in terms of eligibility. Yeah. And let's move on to the proposed research project. Yeah, as I said earlier, it has to be it has to contribute to the nature conservation. Yeah, a scientific research contributing to the nature conservation of the country. Yeah, where the applicant currently works or study, which means you need to find what are the current issues on nature conservation in Malaysia. Yeah. And the main focus, as we can see from the list of the successful proposal earlier, focus on living organisms. Yeah, it can be plants, flora and fauna, species, plant species, shrubs, herbs, trees. Yeah, and also we talk about fauna. When we talk about plants, really you have a category of higher plant and lower plants. Yeah, even you can study about the fungus. You study about the fauna. The one that we can see the example just now, like now a tiger, for example, the Malaysian tiger has experiencing reduction now. Yeah. We have only small number of population is categorized as a threatened species, and some other species of concern on the fauna, not limited to the mammal, but you can go to the insect, go to the fish, for example, marine, aquatic. So these are the main focus that being proposed. Try to study what are the concern, the species of concern that I think in Malaysia. We can look at the red list, red list document that listings flora and fauna species, whether they are in the endangered or critically endangered or least concern, or that are all the red list category. It involves for collecting data, which means that looks like they won't allow you to study only using the secondary data. Yeah, it has to be primary data. It involves field work that you make measurements in the field. Yeah, the applicants' own research work, team project are ineligible. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is individual research work, but I'm sure team members can assist, and when you publish, you can include members in the publication. I think it should be okay, as we have done before. I have done this before. achieve the objective, submit the report. They will give the scheduled period for you to submit the progress report in the first year of the research, and then finally, I think at the end of the research duration, you need to submit the full report. Be exclusively funded by NEF or co-funded with the applicant's institution. Something that we can explore, because as we understand, UiTM also offering SRP, strategic research partnership. Maybe it can be explored if we can co-fund this amount that we get from Nagao. So just now we talk about the eligible country. There are countries in the Asia Pacific region that are eligible, and Malaysia is one of them there. Other than that, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Cambodia, Fiji. These are all countries in the Asia Pacific region. Developing country. Okay. Now we talk about what are eligible and what are ineligible expenses. Okay. The money that you secured from the grant, you acquired from the grant. This is the eligibility. You can purchase expendables necessary for the field survey, sampling gear, reagent. If, for example, if you involved in collecting the botanical sample from specimen from the field, then you may need some alcohol, for example. You need to purchase a plastic bag. You need to purchase all the sampling necessity for you in order to ensure that the field works is going smoothly. And then local travel expenses for field trips. It is eligible. I think this refers to your mileage, your accommodation, your hotel, and the transportation. If it involves, maybe if you are renting a car, vehicles to go to the field, maybe, and also the cost of petrol, perhaps the mileage claim, if you want to purchase reference materials, article, books, limited wages and labor costs necessary to propose research. If you hire assistant, I think you can use that money to pay wages to your assistant, to your postgraduate students, to your RE, to your Moderator. Other expenses only when NEF secretary approved. I presume this could be forwarded to NEF for you to request if there is any expenses that not listed in the list of eligible expenses. This is ineligible. You can see that the eligible is shorter than the ineligible. Okay, the salary, tuition fee, you cannot use this to pay your tuition. I mean, for the student especially, tuition paid to applicants, to assistant, it's not for the tuition fee, not for the renovation and installations, not for if I think NEF expected that in terms of the use of equipment, they encourage us to use the equipment that are readily available in the institutions, like a personal computer. Normally you already have laptop, software, printer, vehicle, motorbike. So they assume that we already have these facilities in our institution, so it's eligible for us to spend money to buy these items. Honoraria, consultation fees, travel expenses paid to advisors and experts. Unfortunately, you can use this to pay expert. And in FRGS or in internal grant, I think we have that allocation, to pay the expert. Participant fees to attend national workshop conference is not for the conference, unfortunately. International travel expenses necessary for disseminating research finding, manuscript preparation for and publication, expenses for past activities they already done. Yeah, I think this refers to activities that you have completed, but you want to claim using this amount. So this is not allowed. Yeah. General administrative expenses and overhead also not allowed. Yeah. So I think the reason they list the long list of ineligible expenses because the amount that they provide is not much. Yeah. In other words, I think they want us to set the priority right. Yeah. This amount, what is the priority that really critical for the research? Yeah, to take off. Yeah. Okay. This is obligation of the grant recipient. Yeah. If granted, recipients should conduct the approved research project in accordance to ethical standard as a responsible scientist. I think it is not new for us because in UiTM we also have this REC, Research Ethics Committee, and we are aware that when you are conducting research, it should be in accordance to the ethical standard. Yeah. Submit a progress report with photograph taken and detailed financial report. In this coming the new advertisement, the new posting from the website, they provide us with the template. Yeah, when you want to submit the progress report, go to the website. They have the template how to fill in the progress report, how to key in the detail of the financial. Everything is there. Yeah. Submit a final report with photograph taken and detailed financial report upon completion. So the progress report is 1 year because the duration is 2 years. So the first year, the progress reports will be prepared, and in the second year, final report need to be submitted to them. Yeah. So what is the expectation of NEF? They expect all applicants and recipients to understand and follow ethical standard in science and as a professional scientist. And please be sure any improper attitudes, improper grant spending, fraudulence, grant acquisition, research misconduct are not acceptable and subject to penalty. Yeah. This is, I think, just to alert us. All of us, we know very well about this. So just I think NEF just would like to remind us. Yeah. Okay. How to apply? Right. This is the documentations that required. Yeah. One completed application form. Yeah. In both Microsoft Word and PDF. Yeah. So once you complete the application, they would like you to save it in Microsoft Office and also in PDF, 2 versions of file. A field budget and timetable in Excel. Yeah, timetable just I think like the Gantt chart of your research plan. Yeah, and the budget. Yeah. A field applicant's background, your background as a researcher, as an applicant, and recommendation letter. Yeah. For the recommendation letter, I have an sample that I can share with you, the one that I used before. Yeah. In my example last time, they required me to attach a recommendation letter from your superior. I mean, your immediate boss, maybe. Yeah. In my case, last time I received it. I get it from the Deputy Vice-Chancellor. Yeah, and I remember I prepared the draft of the recommendation letter. Yeah. So before filling out the application form, please carefully read guideline for the NEF research program. Yeah, and the instruction inside the application form. Okay, this is the website. Yeah, that all the guidelines, the forms. can be downloaded from this website. Yeah, nagaofoundations.org.jp/research/HTML. Yeah. All documents once completed, yeah, should be submitted by email. Yeah, those are the email secretariat@nagaofoundations.or.jp. Yeah, the deadline. Okay, Nagao is offering grants twice a year. Yeah, in April and in October. Yeah, so for this year, April 2023 is over. But we still have the opportunity for this year's October's grant opportunity. Yeah, on the 16th of October 2023, I think we have ample of time. Now it's only July. Yeah, you have August, September. Yeah, October, so you have more or less 3 months to prepare the proposal. Yeah. All the applicant document must reach NEF secretariat before and by the deadline. Yeah. Neither incomplete applications will not be. I think they won't accept any incomplete documents. Yeah. This document comprises of 4 items. Yeah. Completed items. Yeah. The evaluations. The secretary will check applications whether all the requirements mentioned are fulfilled. Is common for any evaluation exercise. Only those qualified will be examined twice a year by NEF committee for approval or rejections. Please note that your final grant amount may be the same or lower than budget amount that you requested. Yeah. While we can apply the maximum amount, 500,000 yen, yeah, as usual, yeah, they will scrutinize the amount that you propose, the values. Yeah, they may, cut small amount of proposed budget. Yeah. So the following factors will be considered during the selection process. Okay. If your proposals are relevant and important to nature conservation, so this is an important factor actually, because this is the main theme of the grant. Yeah, it is nature conservation. Yeah, clearness of objective and research question and hypothesis. When you write objective, when you write a problem statement, a research question, it has to be clear. Yeah, originality and the quality of proposed research. Yeah. Appropriateness and concreteness of methodology to achieve objective, yeah, to answer the hypothesis, feasibility of research design and schedule, yeah, reasonableness of the budget, applicant past achievement, I think the track record, yeah, experience in related research, and recommended statement on the applicants. Yeah. So when they evaluate your proposal, these are the factors that will be considered. So I think a list of this factor is useful for us. Yeah, when you prepare the proposal, let's look at this list. Yeah, whether it is what you are proposing is relevant to the nature conservation, whether you have very clear objective, your hypothesis is clear. This is also common for any other proposal that we have submitted for FRTS, for example. They always look at the clearness of the objective and the problem statement. Yeah. Okay, screening for plagiarisms. Please note that applicants will be screened for plagiarism using authenticate plagiarism detection system during selection process. So they use this software to check the similarity index of your proposal. Yeah, authenticate. So please make sure avoid cut and paste, avoid extracting the phrase from other sources, yeah, directly, yeah. So NEF circuit will reject applications leading to plagiarism and self-plagiarism. Yeah, I think all of you know very well about this. So result notifications, result announcement will be made on their website. 3 months after each deadline. Successful applicant will receive letter approval, report construction and account information form by email. Okay, due to high volume of application received, the Secretariat will only contact the successful applicants. Unfortunately, only the successful applicant will hear from them upon the evaluation. This is to share. I get mine in 2000. How many? Are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 proposal has been offered a grant during 2 years, 2015, 2016. What I proposed during that time is a project entitled Genetic Diversity and Spatial Distribution of Critically Endangered Dictrocarpus semivesticis, Dictrocarpaceae in remnant of freshwater swamp forest in Malaysia. So this research deal with critically endangered species, a 3 species that is critically endangered. I propose conservation measures to avoid to protect the species from further extinct, because the status of the species already critically endangered. So that was 2015. So I have during the time I have 2 postgraduate students working on this. So the amount that I received, I used to top up as an additional grant apart from FRGS grant that I secured during that time. So the publication from the project, this is my former master student, Siti Maisara. She studied about the floristic composition and soil structure of freshwater swamp forest. This is the forest that where the endangered species occurred in this area. They study about what are the floristic composition about plants. And Dr. Lily from Pahang wrote. She conducted study in the same area, her PhD, on endangered species in freshwater swamp forest in Perak. And Dr. Lirivanis from Pahang also write a review on endangered species, Shoria Makanta. And another paper by Siti Maisara, a study about fragmented area. So from the data from this grant that funded by NEF, managed to publish a few articles. Okay. So next, I would like to share with you. This will be valuable to you if you need it. I will pass it to Dr. T. A sample of the documents from my application last time. So I will show you the application form. What question that they asked. Okay. Like I said, this is 2015 application. This is the form. I'm not sure whether they have updated or they have changed the tables, but this is the information that required. The NEF Research Grant Program application form. First, they would like to know the name of applicant, the address, the title, the birth date, the gender, name of institution, the position held. I was the Deputy Dean during that time, 2015, Deputy Dean of Faculty of Applied Science of Academic Affairs, and then email. And then the first information after the detailed information of the applicant, they would like to know the title of the proposed project. So this is the title: Genetic Diversity and Spatial Distribution of Critically Endangered Dictrocarpus semivesticis. So now, when you look at this title, in remnant forests of freshwater swamp. The main focus is the living organism. I mean, the tree, the Dipterocarpus semivivacius, the endangered, the critically endangered species. Yeah, the focus is not about swamp forests. Yeah, it's not about the criteria of the species, but how we can conserve the species through study the diversity, the genetic diversity, and look at the mapping of the species via GIS. During that time, I used GIS to map the spatial distributions of the species. Yeah, first to study how diverse the genetic for the species. Yeah, so that we can propose to the management, in terms of the conservation measure, how are the species distributed in the ecosystem, in the ecology, in terms of the population in the swamp forest. Are they, are they together? Are they present in cluster? Are they in terms of the density of the tree? So they asked about the abstracts, approximately 200 words. The abstract, just like common abstract that all of us have experienced in writing. First, we talk about, we write about the background of study. Just 1 or 2 sentences on the background, endangered species, why is this? So the background in this case, in endangered species are often characterized by small population. Is the background information. Next, go to problem statement. This is a problem statement. Unfortunately, many endangered species information genetic requirement are lacking. And then they have restricted in the freshwater, because in Dipterocarpus semivivacius is an endemic species. That's one of the problem. Endemic means the species that only confined into certain habitat. If you take the species elsewhere in the different habitat, it's not, you're not sure whether the tree, the seed can germinate, or the tree can grow well, other than in the freshwater in Parit Forest Reserve. So that is the problem statement. And then next is about the objective. What the objective of the study is to be clearly stated here, to quantify genetic diversity, to describe, and to evaluate. Okay. So if you plan to write a clear objective, please use the proper verb, which is quantifiable, that describe the project is doable. Is doable, can be measured. The finding. And after that, just briefly about the methods. A few lines, 1 or 2 lines about the method. Then what do you expect? Expectation from the research. What would be expect to? One is in terms of the finding, and the other one is in terms of the contributions, maybe to the nation in terms of the nature conservation, which is the main focus of the Nagao. That's, they'll give us like 200 words, very concise, very clear. I mean, when they read the abstract, they would like to know more. They're interested in knowing how to arrive with this conclusion or objective. Okay, that is abstract. Then introduction is longer versions. That again, introduction, some background, more quite lengthy, and some literature review, what has been done in the past with regard to this species, what past studies that deal with the Dipterocarpus semivivacius, what they have done, this is, I think, to find the gap of research between the previous finding of research with the one that you're proposing. Okay, this is the objective, 3 objective, which is has to be clearly stated. Yeah, when we read the objective, it's clear. And then with research questions and hypothesis. Yeah, hypothesis. Normally, if you are conducting data analysis using statistical analysis, yeah, you have the hypothesis. Is there a significant difference? Yeah, is there significant relationships? Yeah, what are the potential? How do distribution vary with these three classes? In order to answer this hypothesis, normally it involves some statistical analysis. Yeah.
Hi, Prof.
Yes.
You cannot see the files here.
You cannot see?
Yeah, in the link files.
Oh. You can. All right.
Yeah.
It's from the beginning or just recently?
From the beginning, I guess.
From the beginning? Oh my God.
I think the application form is not an issue.
Oh yeah. Now I'm discussing about the sample.
In the website. I think specific case study yang Prof study objective tu semua tak nampak.
Oh, tak nampak ya? Alright. Yang mana ya? Okay. Let me try again ya.
Let's try again.
Because all of you are quiet, so I'm not sure. So
Don't worry, Prof.
Let me try again ya.
Yeah, ramai pun yang a lot of them are from last year also.
Yeah. Stop sharing ya. Alright. Stop sharing. Now it go back to the front page, right?
Yes.
Right. Now I'll try again. I'll share.
Yeah, we go to the page to the link. Yes, sample document.
Can you see the link?
Yeah, yes.
No, I open the link,
You try to open the link, yes.
Now I open the link. Now the link appeared. Can you see?
No.
Oh.
The link is not shown here.
So what did you see in the screen?
Sample documents, 4 points there.
Oh. All right.
Maybe Prof open the link in your computer and you share the link. You share the files directly from the link.
Okay, I'll try. I try again. Okay, I will share the link. All right. Now, can you see?
Yes, clear.
Right. Okay. So just now I've been talking to myself for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes around because this application form later we will share also, right, Prof?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So again, this is things that I've said earlier. Yeah. The application information, the project information. Yeah. I have mentioned this about the abstract, what comprises the abstract, what consists the information that you need to include. Yeah. And then the introduction, the objective, research question, hypothesis, the methodology, the method, the method, the detail of the method, there is subheading of each method. It's depending on what you're going to study actually, but just to be clearly described. And then the expected outcome, and then the budget, the amount requested in Japanese yen, you have to think in Japan in Japanese yen, and you need to know the currency conversion between yen and ringgit Malaysia. So this is the based on the eligibility of the expenses. These are the proposed expenses that I submitted and they accept it. Because it is listed in the criteria or the criteria of the eligibility. Field work, study plot establishment, measurement. So this is actually to give some wages to the assistant, yeah, and then the vehicle rental is included. Research material, this is like consumables, yeah. You have to spell out what are they, what do you want to buy, because here is your justification, and the first column is what are the item and the price or the cost, yeah. In this case, traveling one person, how much per day and how many times per year, and then four-wheel drive vehicle if you go to the forest or you go to area that have difficult as you're gonna access by road. Sometimes, yeah, you need off-road vehicles. DNA extraction kit, PCR kit, primer, gel. These are all material that you need in the lab actually to study the genetic diversity. Yeah, alcohol, sulfuric acid, wages for field assistant. So there's grand total 499,879. Yeah, it's close to maximum lah 500,000. Okay. Resource available. They also ask you what you already have in your lab, for example. So you don't have to purchase a computer, software. Yeah, the lab itself. What are the item that you can use in this project, and the Gantt chart for 2 years duration, what you plan to do, yeah, in order to achieve the objective. It is depending on your study, research review, brief, field data collection, what analysis that involved, yeah. It's like Gantt chart in our proposal or milestone, yeah. Expected products, some publication, what are the tentative topic, yeah, for the publication. This is the literature that we use, I use as now in the introduction. And then they also require CV based on the template that they have, yeah. Short CV actually. It just asks about the record of application, employment, records, experience, and publication, yeah, 2 pages. And then information of recommender, in this case was the former TNC-PI, yeah, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research. During that time was Prof. Abdul Rahman, 2015. And then sign it here. And then approval by head of organization, the dean. During that time, my dean was Professor Kuze. Yeah. So recommender is the Deputy Vice Chancellor, approved by the dean. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is a sample of recommendation letter that I drafted for the TNCPI to sign. Yeah. Which I think Dr. Tay will share with you. So it is there. I mean, you can write what you feel important and necessary to convince the NEF that you are capable, you are able to conduct the proposed research. Yeah. All right. During the evaluation, yeah, the evaluator, they normally, if necessary, they will get back to you by email. They will write you if they need clarifications on your proposal. They need a clarification, then they will ask you, and you have to respond to them. Yeah, this is respond to the selection committee comment when they evaluate your proposal. You have a chance to provide justification, to provide clarifications, or to defend their queries. Yeah. So, for example, the evaluator asks, we think that the application show a clear approach. They said the clear approach. On the other hand, we are not sure if establishment survey 400 study plot are feasible. Please explain. Excuse me. Yeah, actually, I was quite ambitious when I proposed this. I'd like to have 400 study plots. Given the amount of budget is limited, because field work is expensive, because you need to hire assistant to assist in the field. So in this case, from 400 plots, study plot, I reduce into 50 plots, and they accept it. The objective remains. They feel that 50 plot is sufficient. I mean, the number of sample. We would like to know your ideas, how you are going to utilize information obtained from the analysis into conservation and policy. So sometimes we have to look up the queries and questions that they pose. Sometimes we have to find reference. I think I remember I Googled it, how to use the information from the NA analysis into the conservation and policy. So this is my response, and then I think they're happy with this response. Only two queries, during the evaluation, and then finally the good news arrived, where they emailed the official letter saying that the proposal has been successful, has been offered a grant. Not very, the compared to the amount that I requested just now is 499, about 800 Japanese yen. They cut only a small amount, so they gave me 499,000 Japanese yen for the study for 2 years. So alhamdulillah, within the 2 years, I have successfully conducted this study. One student and student from Pahang has successfully earned her PhD from a study on endangered species and Dipterocarpus semivivacis. And in the letter, other than they're congratulating you for acquiring the grant, they also remind you, what are you required to be responsible, submit progress report, submit final report, blah blah blah. So it's signed by the president. Okay, so there's some sharing of the application material. So that's about it. So unless there is any questions, any observation from the audience, I'm happy to respond to any question if you might have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for sharing the valuable, helpful, and clear tips, experience, and guiding us winning the Nagao Natural Environmental Foundation NEF. Okay, it is important that the quality of the research proposal must be fit to the criteria. And thank you, Prof, for sharing the case study as a sample. For the recommendation letter, please refer to the RMI, Dr. Lokman. Okay. So let's move to the next section, Q&A session. Participants are welcome to ask questions directly, or you may type in the chat box. So anyone, you are invited to ask the question now for the participants.
So Dr. T, if I understand what you said just now, the recommendation letter will be arranged by.
I'm not sure, but January last year, it is encouraged the researcher to write their own recommendation letter, and they will edit accordingly, because they want to have some variation between the recommendation letters issued by UiTM.
Okay. But I'm happy to, if the audience, would like to ask further, please feel free to email me, or call me. I'm happy to share any other information that you might have.
Okay. So anyone with the questions from the floor or in the chat box?
There is a question in chat box.
Yes, Prof. Yes, there's a question from the Nurul Ain Muhammad Zaki. She asked, Prof, can a researcher submit more than one proposal for the submission?
Oh yeah, Dr. Ain. Hi, Dr. Ain. Dr. Ain from Perlis. I know her. Unfortunately, the answer is no, Dr. Ain. Yeah. But if you have two proposal, you can your research member, your team member in your research group, you can submit on your behalf, I think, because you are studying the same subject in your area. But he or she has to be, has to meet the requirement. Yeah, the eligibility. I mean, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof, for sharing session. Any question from the researcher? Because from the YouTube there are no questions also. Or while waiting.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Yes.
Faiz here
Salam.
from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management. If you remember me, I'm from RIT.
Yeah, I remember you very well.
Yes.
You served at IPSIS, right?
Yes,
Many years.
I did, Prof. Yeah, coming from a background of I think natural environment area, coming from a tourism management angle, do you have some sort of idea that you can throw in on how researchers, social science researchers can somehow combine the area of tourism with nature and environment that could be useful? Because I saw a couple of lists that was the result of applications submitted in 2020 and other years. I mean, like most of the research are basically much more applied on looking at human and environment interaction. So looking at tourism, do you think it's possible for to apply some sort of level, for us to apply some sort of this kind of
Thank
grants?
you. I said
Would
Professor
take
Dr.
your feedback
Faiz is
from you
one.
as well. Thank you, Prof.
I think it's very relevant questions from our colleagues. Those are in the social science. Yeah, I know that in tourism industry, we can relate with the natural resource as well. As we aware that the idea of Nagao, they would like to support the nature conservation. Things that I can relate. I've been working in Taman Negara for many years. Decades. I can see the potentials of Taman Negara for the ecotourism. Ecotourism where people in Taman Negara, local people or indigenous people, they can play a role in helping the government, to conserve the nature over there. By not only conserving or preserving the nature, but use the nature in terms of the intangible value, the aesthetic value of nature into ecotourism. And like community-based involvement. And the community here, it can be human. It can be the focus. I mean, human, which refers to the local community of Taman Negara, for example, or the indigenous people there, because the indigenous people is unique, where the tourists from abroad, they would like to see the uniqueness, how different the indigenous people from their region compared to ours. For example, orang Batik in Taman Negara is very unique. Why they call it Batik? How about their folklore, their culture, their origin? Something that I think interesting to explore more. And I don't think we have a lot of literature, a lot of information on this. Faiz, have you been to Taman Negara, Faiz?
Yes, a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm sure you can see how to enjoy the nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you, Prof.
you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, PM Dr. Faiz Iswan. And there is a question from the YouTube from Dr. Rabiatu Munira. Okay, Nagao have specific or requirement for journals or book publisher? Prof?
Not specifically. I think when you look at the requirement and criteria just now, to me, if you are able to publish, is a plus point for you. Yeah, and it is common for us if we conducted research and we got result, we have finding. You know, as a academics, as a researcher, we need to publish. Yeah, it would be a shame if we just leave the results in the shelf. Yeah, you can publish it and take advantage of journal that being indexed. Yeah, by Scopus or WOS. Yeah, that's what I have done in the past. Yeah, although it's not required by Nagao, but this is your own initiative. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Any more questions from the floor? You may ask directly or you may type in chat box.
Yeah, Prof, maybe another question from me. I saw the awardees, of the grant, which is involving tourism, and I saw a lot of tourism studies looking at impact development, study of tourism status. So, is there any opportunity that probably we can work on something that's involving Taman Negara and how we can collaborate and probably do a study on the impact of tourism in Taman Negara, and probably we can submit this grant application together?
Sure, Dr. Faiz. There is an issue of nature conservation in Taman Negara. Taman Negara is protected area, but at the same time, the government would like, people to enjoy the nature of Taman Negara. Therefore, we need to conserve them. Therefore, we need to conserve them. Yeah. I'm sure you heard about the
Right. Or
the
carrying
limit of
capacity.
acceptable change. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, connectivity. I think there's the issue that now need to be addressed. Yeah, the influx of the tourists in Taman Negara, since it is protected area, while we want people to enjoy the nature, you also need to, to conserve, to not to limit, but to know what is the threshold of the visitation by the tourists. Yeah, this is important. I think interesting study that can be explored, Dr. Faiz.
Yep, exactly. Thank you, Prof.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the question again from Dr. Faiz. Okay, next question from Dr. Wan Maisara. Salam Prof, the matter of age, how if the applicant this year is 39 years old and next year 40? Is it possible to apply? Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, still eligible, Dr. Maisara, because the opening is for this year, 2023. Yeah, well, you are still 39, you're still eligible. Please apply, and all the best, Dr. Maisara.
Any more questions from the floor? Since there are no questions from the floor, I would like to invite all participants to turn on your camera for a photo sessions. So we will get help from the Yasmin to take the photo for everyone. Please on your camera. Thank you. Okay, done the photo session and the attendance links is provided in the chat box. That's all question for today. We have reached the end of the webinar. Thank you, everyone. I believe this session is beneficial to all the participants. We hope for a higher success rate for UiTM researcher in NEF research grant application in 2023. Let's start now writing a good proposal with the valuable tips shared today. Okay, on behalf of ReNeU, we would like to thank Prof. TS Dr. Muhammad Nazip and thank you everyone for staying with us for about 1.5 hours. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Wishing
Thank you,
all of you
everyone.
all the
Hope to
best.
see you next time. Okay, thanks, Prof.
Thank you.